Good evening. I'm Mike Harbour, and you're listening to Crash Talk. And I think as everyone is probably ready to see that the stay-at-home orders have been lifted in most counties here in the Northwest. At least we're in phase 2 in most places, and trying to get back to business. I don't know if it's ever going to be business as usual, but I've got a haircut, and we're going to make some changes to Crash Talk because now that we're back and some people are back at work, we're going to change our times. So this will be the last broadcast at 5 o'clock on a Friday. We're going to change the time to 7. And hopefully we can continue to be with you each week at 7 o'clock to provide information that's useful to you. And so with that, I need to read the disclaimer that Crash Talk, Mike Harbour, or any guests that are on the show are not giving you legal advice. If you need legal advice, you need to seek that of an attorney in your area. We're more than willing to help you find a good attorney if you've got a situation that you need legal advice. What we spoke about, or what I shared with everybody several weeks ago, was about policies, insurance policies. And no, we're not going to get into all that tonight. I know everybody's had enough. They don't want to hear any more about insurance policies. But one specific portion of a policy we are going to talk, and I actually have a surprise guest, to be honest with us tonight, to discuss an opinion that he has about that provision of a policy that's quite interesting. If you recall, under an insurance policy, they're broken down into several areas: liability, damage to your vehicle, and under the area of damage to your vehicle, there's a provision called payment of loss. There's a limit of liability, and then there's a payment of loss. The payment of loss then, and this is for the insurance company, they have the right to pay the loss in money, to repair, or to replace the damaged property or stolen property. And we talked about this a little bit when we were going through policy provisions. When they pay for money and loss, which is what happens in most claims, they just simply make a payment. There's a determination made, the amount of the loss, and a payment's made. The second part of that sentence says, or repair. Now, most people are confusing it. They think they're having their vehicle repaired at a body shop, and they assume that's what that means. But under the terms of an insurance policy, which is a contract, that repair means an insurance company elects to take your vehicle and repair it. It kind of changes things. And then the last is to replace. I've never seen them replace a vehicle in the event of a loss, even a total loss. So with that, keep that in mind, because that's going to be the basis of this discussion tonight with our guest. And our guest is a longtime friend. I was going to say an old friend, but I don't want to say old friend because that maybe, I don't know. But a very good friend. I would even consider him a mentor. I've learned a lot from this individual. Tony Lombardozzi. People know him all over the country. I've got a copy of his CV, his resume. It's over 3 pages long. This gentleman has done more for the collision repair industry and for consumers across the country, probably more than anybody that I'm aware of. Tony actually started into the collision business in 1957. Now, I hope Tony's not offended by me putting out some dates, but he actually started in 1957. That was a very good year. I particularly remember the 57 Chevy, but I was a youngster then. He served in the Marine Corps, served our country, and continued into vehicles and repairs, even in the military. And then after he got out, he served in a number of capacities as shop managers, service directors. He was an ICAR, received awards from an industry that trains technicians and people within the industry called ICAR. It's an acronym for, and I don't want to get into that right now, but it's a national organization. And he received the Outstanding Performance Award in 1960, 1996, 1997, and 1998. Quite an honor. Also the iCar Instructor of the Year in 1999. He trained people on collision repair, proper techniques, damage analysis, and being able to recognize if a vehicle's been repaired properly. And so I could go on and on. Like I said, there's 3 pages here, but those are the highlights. Very proud to have Tony, be able to call Tony a friend, and he's offered to come in anytime that I would like to have somebody come in and offer their expertise, their opinions on matters that affect the consumers. And so with that, let me introduce Tony Lombardozzi, and we'll get into a little interview that we had this morning that I think you'll find interesting.
You have to look at what happens when an insurer directs a vehicle owner to the shop. This is my opinion now. They are electing to repair the vehicle, and they now that insurance policy becomes a repair contract. They become the general contractor subletting to their subcontractor. So therefore, they are 100% responsible for the repair, and the limits of the policy no longer exist because this is a repair contract, no longer an insurance contract.
You know, that is an interesting point, and somebody I think that both of us know and respect a lot is Erica Eversman, an attorney out of Cleveland, I believe, and she's preached that for years. Is to when you start the repair process, is to get the insurance company to specify under what method are they providing payment on the claim.
Right. That's key. The second thing is how many times, like you say, the insurer purchases the vehicle because of a poor repair done at their direct repair facility. They issue the consumer a check. The consumer has a check with the original claim number. So let's say they had a $17,000 repair and the vehicle's worth $30,000. They spent $17,000. Now they have to pay $30,000. That becomes a $47,000 loss on the books. And in theory, that may jump that consumer from one premium bracket to another premium bracket. And they didn't have a $47,000 loss.
I never even thought of that before.
Now, here's the second issue. If the consumer guarantees, if the insurer guarantees repair at their direct repair shop, and they have to purchase the vehicle, that's a warranty issue. Has nothing to do with the policy contract of the insured. That money should be paid out of a reserve fund for warranty claims. That money should be held in escrow and managed by the insurance department to make sure that a Geico or a State Farm is viable enough to pay off these warranty claims.
That's almost a second matter of insurance.
You betcha.
Interesting. Well, you know,
but it's worth thinking into. It makes you.
You have me thinking. That's for sure. You have me thinking. That was a great interview. Really, some interesting ideas to contemplate. If an insurance company has you go to one of their shops, have they entered into the repair of your vehicle? And there is I referenced an attorney that both of us are familiar with and have worked with that has suggested that is determined in the very beginning. And Eric is also a friend of mine, and as Tony and I even discussed this morning in our interview, I thought, I should reach out to Erica, and we should do another segment on this, because it's important for a consumer if you're having a repair to your vehicle, you want to know under what provision of a policy are they making the election to pay. Now, everything that we've talked about only relates to when you turn a claim into your insurance company, which is called a first party claim. If you elect to have the at-fault party make decisions on your repair, you're putting yourself in a very, very poor position as far as asserting your rights. Now, I'm considering what Tony shared, and if you have the at-fault party direct you to one of their shops, I'm wondering how, from a legal standpoint, and I don't want to go there, but I may want to pose that to legal counsel to find out, how does that work? If you do what they tell you and go to one of their shops that they have a signed contract with, there is no contractual obligation between you and the insurance company. But if you do what they say and you go to their shop, what does that do? How does that affect your rights? And are they assuming the liability for the repair? For the repair itself. They're already responsible for their insured's negligence or damage in your car. But now we've got a little different scenario. Now you're going to the shop they have a contract with for repairs of your vehicle. What does that mean? So you'll have to stay tuned in. I'm going to explore that, and we'll discuss that in a later episode of Crash Talk. So everybody have a great weekend and stay safe. And here in the Northwest, as of today, you're required to wear a mask if you're anywhere around other people. So take care. It's been a good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in.